kapwa ko Pilipino. Ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo, ilantad ang likas nating talento, at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at magpapatalo, ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, Chumbe, Sibay, Lakay, Amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko Pilipino. Pilipino, yan ang Pinoy.
Makaraan ang isang linggo po ng FIBA Basketball World Cup, nakulugmok sa kalungkutan ang sambayanan dahil sa pagkatalo ng ating mahal na Gilas Pilipinas. Ang katanungan, anong nangyari? Pag-usapan po natin ngayong umaga, di paano? Bango na! Power and play na!
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
Isa pong maganda, bagamat maulang umaga sa inyong lahat mga kapatid. Magandang umaga Pilipinas. Nagmumula po sa TV5 Media Center dito po sa 1PH Studios. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Cherry Tigo, it's fun to drive. Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. True religion where passion meets power. And of course, we are powered by Smart. Live more with Smart. Kinakamusta po natin lahat ng ating mga tagapakinig, tagapanood at mga suki, mga parokyano ng Power and Play sa buong Pilipinas po. Lalong-lalo na ang mga nakikinig po sa Radyo 5, 92.3 True FM. Dito na po tayo sa Totoo at sa 1PH on Signal TV na imbag na bigat kada kayo amen sa ating po mga suki dyan po sa Hilagang Luzon. At of course, mayong buntag kaninyong tanan sa lahat po ng mga nanonood sa Kabisayaan, sa atin naman pong Facebook Live na palabas. No? Again, sana po nasa mabuti kayong kalagayan. Bagamat nag-uulan at talaga naman pong patuloy, sana wala pong nagkakasakit at maayos ang inyong kalagayan. Alam niyo po yung ulan parang nakikiramay sa sambayanan dahil sa nangyari sa ating koponang Gilas Pilipinas sa unang dalawang stage ng FIBA Basketball World Cup. Well, again, ang facts po napakasimple, hindi pa po nanalo ang ating koponan. 0-3 dun sa group stage at natalo po sa classification round nung isang araw laban sa South Sudan. Kaya po hanggang ngayon ay wala pa tayong panalo at natanggal na po tayo sa World Cup sa mga susunod na rounds at natapos na rin po ang ating paghahabol ng isang Olympic slot patungong Paris sa pamamagitan nitong World Cup. Last week talaga po tayong punong-puno ng excitement. Talaga naman pong pag-asa ang ating bit-bit nung nagbukas ang FIBA Basketball World Cup. Subalit halfway through these competitions, ilugmok po sa kalungkutan. Balot sa napakaraming katanungan at of course parang dismayado ang ating mga kababayan. Kasi marami po tayo talagang katanungan. Ano ba talaga? Saan ba tayo nagkamali? Bagamat ang tagal po nating naghanda, bakit po ganito ang naging resulta? Sino ba ang dapat sisihin? Meron ba tayong dapat ginawa na hindi nagawa? Meron bang pagkakamali sa mga desisyong ginawa? At ano ba ang dapat gawin para po ito ay maiwasan sa mga susunod pang mga competition ng ating bansa, particularly dito po sa ganitong klaseng level ng laban. Alam niyo po ang masakit dito ay tayo po ay home court. At kaya naman po napakalaki ang pag-asa ng ating mga kababayan at napakalaki din po ang pag-asa ng ating basketball community at ng buong Gilas Pilipinas organization. Kaya po nakalagang nakaka-disappoint ang nangyari. Oo, at lumaban po tayo. Oo, at kahit papano ay tayo po ay naandun sa loob ng laro. Hindi po naman tayo nilamangan na napakalaki. Pero hindi po sapat kasi ito pong mga laban na to, tila winnable games. Kaya pong ipanalo. Subalit hindi po natin nagawa. Kaya po yung mga katanungan na yan ay atin pong pag-uusapan at hahanapan po natin ng kasagutan ngayong araw pong ito. Marami po tayong magiging bisita para pag-usapan ang FIBA Basketball World Cup. Mamaya po ang mga miyembro ng 1974 Philippine team na lumaban sa FIBA World Championship. Yung po pong pangalan noong araw sa Puerto Rico. Ang kasama po natin sila Mon Fernandez, El Presidente, si Mr. Clutch Francis Arnaiz at ang isa sa pinakamabilis na player ng bansa, si Yoyong Martires. Makakasama po natin mamaya yan para pag-usapan ang kanilang karanasan noong 1974 at ang kanilang mga impressions ngayon pong 2023 World Cup. Mamaya din po makakasama natin at ilalagay natin naman ang spotlight sa ating bagong hirang na national coach ng Philippine Women's National Football Team, yung Pilipinas na lumaban dun sa FIFA Women's World Cup. May bago tayong coach, si Coach Mark Torcaso. Mamaya po ay ating pong pag-uusapan yan at ating pong itatampok. At sa ating fast take, abangan nyo ang mga maiinit na usapang kasama si Homer Sison at si Coach Mark Molina sa ating fast take. So marami po tayong pag-uusapan. Kahit malungkot, dito lang kayo. Sapagkat marami po tayong maiintindihan at sana masagot na mga katanungan. So simulan na po natin muna sa balitaan sa pamamagitan ng ating Sports Weekly Highlights.
Power and play with Noli, Eala.
May one last chance na lang ang Gilas Pilipinas para makakuha ng panalo sa FIBA World Cup. Makakatapat ng national team ang China mamayang gabi sa kanilang kahuli-hulihang game dito sa World Cup. Nauna nang nawala ang tsansa ng Pilipinas sa automatic spot sa Olympics matapos matalo kontra South Sudan noong Huwebes. At mapapanood po yung laban na yan mamaya sa One Sports, One Sports Plus at sa Pilipinas Live app. Sa ibang balita sa FIBA World Cup, unbeaten pa rin ang Team USA sa tournament matapos talunin ang Montenegro para simulan ang second round 85-73. Lumamang pa nga sa unang dalawang quarter ang Montenegro pero nanaig pa rin ang talent ng USA na tumakas sa crunch time. Good news naman sa athletics. Muling gumawa ng kasaysayan si EJ Obiena matapos makuha ang silver finish sa 2023 World Athletics Championship sa Hungary. Ito na ang pinakamataas na finish ng Pilipinas sa tournament, kasunod ng bronze medal ni EJ noong isang taon. Nakuha niya ang second place matapos maklear ang 6-meter mark. Up next para kay EJ ang Asian Games at paghanda para sa 2024 Paris Olympics. Speaking of Paris Olympics, gusto raw lumaban ni pambansang kamao Manny Pacquiao sa Olimpiada sa 2024. Ibinalita yan ni Philippine Olympic Committee President Bambol Tolentino. Nakikipag-usap na raw ang POC sa ABAP at International Olympic Committee kung paano yan maisa sa katuparan. Naku, mukhang mahirap yan. Alam ko may age limit lamang pero tingnan natin kung bibigyan nila ng exception itong si Senador Manny Pacquiao. Sa football, sinimulan na ng Pilipinas ang kanilang paghahanda para sa Asian Games ngayong buwan. 28 players ang inimbitahan sa Manila Training Camp kabilang ang 8 players mula sa FIFA Women's World Cup squad. 8 returning players ng national team at 12 bagong mga manlalaro at abangan nyo pong updates mamaya sa ating pakikipag-usap kay Coach Mark Torcaso. At yan po ang ating balitaan ngayong umagang ito sa Sports Weekly Highlights. So mga kapatid, of course, ang ating pong patuloy na pinag-uusapan na mainit na topic ay ang FIBA Basketball World Cup. Kaya yan rin po ang ating pupulsuhan ngayong araw pong ito. Alam niyo po kung inyong hihimayin ang mga statistics ng ating Gilas Pilipinas. Ito po tinignan ko lamang po para maintindihan ninyo kung anong naging performance natin sa ating unang 4 na laban. Tayo po ay uma-average lamang ng 75.5 points a game. Pang 25 po yan out of 32 Ganon din po ang ating field goal percentage. 25th tayo out of 32. Sa 3-point percentage, pang 28 po tayo, averaging only 29.7%. At sa assist, tayo po ay pinakahuli sa pagdating sa pagpapasa ng bola. 15.5 assists per game, dead last tayo po sa mga assists. Sa ating pong turnovers, tayo po ay pang-6 na pinakaburara sa bola. Katabla po ng France with 15.3 turnovers a game. So alam po natin kung anong nangyari, pero ano po ang dapat gawin sa mga susunod na taon. Kaya ito po ang ating pupulsuhan ngayong araw pong ito. Hatid sa inyo ng M2T drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up with energy with M2T drink. Ito po ang ating pulso ng bayan, mga kapatid. Sa likod po ng winless campaign ng Gilas sa 2023 FIBA World Cup, ano ang gusto nyong makitang pagbabago sa basketball program ng bansa? Ulitin ko po yan Ito po dahil wala nga tayong panalo, ano po ang gusto nyong makitang changes sa ating basketball program makilahok po kayo sa atin pulso ng bayan at magkaroon ng pagkakataong manalo ng M2T drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Amin pong i-anunsyo yan mamaya Alright mga kapatid, tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa pamimigay ng mga premyo. Of course, ang Joyride Super App Top Up promo ay patuloy po. Namimigay tayo ng 1,000 pesos JRPay wallet credits mula sa Joyride para magamit nyo sa MC Taxi, sa Joyride Car at sa Joyride Delivery. Napakadali lamang po para sumali. I-download ang latest version ng Joyride Super App. Kuhanan ng screenshot ng app's home screen kasama ng inyong account name at ipadala ang screenshot sa Power and Play FB page via private message. Isama nyo po ang inyong buong pangalan at registered mobile number. Kami po ipipili ng 5 mananalo ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits o JRPay wallet credits mula sa Joyride Super App. Hindi pa dyan nagtatapos ang pamimigay ng Joyride na mga premyo. Doon po sa mahilig naman magbaon ng mga tubig, lalo na pagka medyo mainit. Well, namimigay po ang Joyride ng limited Aqua Flask. Ito po yan limited edition Joyride Aqua Flask. Simpleng-simple nga Pagkatapos po nyo ma-download ang Joyride Super App at mag-book po kayo ng Joyride Motorcycle Taxi or Joyride Car, kumuha po kayo ng creative picture or shot kasama po ng inyong rider. At manood po kayo dito sa ating palatuntunan tuwing Sabado. At meron po kaming ilalabas na hashtag. Yung pong picture ninyo, isama nyo yung hashtag, ipadala nyo po sa aming Facebook page. At kami po ay pipili ng isang mananalong Joyride Limited Edition Aqua Flask. At ang ating pong hashtag of the week ngayong Sabado pong ito ating ilalabas ngayon. Ang ating hashtag of the week, hashtag Joyride sa Power and Play. Ulitin ko po yan hashtag Joyride sa Power and Play para manalo ng Joyride Aqua Flask. Mamaya i-aanunsyo po namin ang nanalo last week noong Aqua Flask. Alright mga kapatid, medyo nagmamadali tayo dahil ang dami natin pag-uusapan. Siyempre, ayaw natin mabitin pa kayo. Kaya simulan na po natin ang ating huntahan sa pamamagitan ng Fast Take.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
At ang Fast Take ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo, It's Fun to Drive. At ngayong araw pong ito, siyempre mga suki and of course a resident contributor dito po sa ating palatuntunan mula sa Chicago, si Homer Saison. At maybe first time sa ating Fast Take, isang batikang sportsman, sports manager, and a coach of course, si Coach andyan na ba? Si Coach Mark Molina. Coach, magandang umaga sa iyo. Coach Mark.
Morning. Good morning, Noli. Good morning.
Good morning. Homer, magandang... nasaan ka ba? Nandito ka ba sa Pilipinas? Ba't maliwanag pa dyan? Homer?
Yeah, visiting father-in-law. So, yes, home.
Medyo nag-ano yung nagcha-choppy yung mo, yung audio mo, Homer.
Oo na.
Oh, can you do it again? Can you try that again, Homer?
Yeah, sa mga signal ito yun naman.
Check natin yung ni Homer, ha?
Yep.
Alright. Medyo nag-garble yung audio ni Homer. Mike, can you just check it? Anyway, Coach Mark, thank you for joining us this morning. Naku, first time kaya dito sa Fastech. Before we go to the Fastech issues, I want to talk about Gilas. Of course, dahil you have been following the games and obviously even the coverages. Coach, unang-una, tactically, and I want to go straight to the point. I mentioned the statistics kanina. Ang daming areas of concern para sa ating kupanan. Dead last in assists. We are 6th in turnovers. Our shooting percentage is low. What has gone wrong para sa Gilas Pilipinas, Coach Mark?
Well, I think the two main problems in the composition of the team is number one, we don't have a really good outside shooter. Yung lights out shooter in the mold of an Alan Kaidik or that's number one. Then number two, yung point guard position natin hindi kagaya ng dati. In the past we had Jason Castro, we had Jimmy Alapag, and if we go further down the road, si Johnny Abarentos played well also internationally. So I think you mentioned yung turnovers natin mataas, yung assists natin medyo mababa. Last pa nga yata in the entire World Cup. So I think, and to me, it's a bit dumbfounding that a nation with millions playing basketball, parang walan tayo ng talagang true point guard.
Yes.
Because Scotty, nothing against Scotty and CJ and Kiefer, they were not point guards when they were playing in college, even in the PBA. A lot of them to mga off guard na kinonvert natin into the point guard position. So I think that's one problem that we had. And it was obvious actually in the game against Angola because we couldn't handle their pressure defense.
Mukhang tama ka dyan. Talagang sa dami, alam naman natin, maliit na bansa tayo. Ang iniisip sa atin, marami tayong gwardya, pero yung pang posisyon na yun, ang talagang kulang na kulang tayo. Homer, are you with us now? Homer?
Yeah, can you hear me, Com?
Ayan.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, mas maganda yan. Homer, all right. Let me ask you, Homer. I know it is a big disappointment to many of the basketball fans sa mga naglalaro and of course sa mga manonood, mga kababayan natin. But was it totally unexpected or did you see signs that this was coming, Homer?
Well, I did. To be honest, I was hoping we'd beat Angola and we had a fighting chance against Dominican Republic. And the fact that we lost also to South Sudan, which was around 40, and Luleng himself said, a rebuilding team, tapos natalo tayo and to be beaten badly compared to Dominican and Angola. I was surprised, specifically on that South Sudan game, Commissioner, and very disappointed, like many other millions of Filipino basketball fans.
I wanna ask this kasi tinitingnan ko yung mga numero and of course even in that game against South Sudan, Coach Mark, at the end of in the third quarter, yung fight back natin, karamihan ng pinasok ni Coach Chot doon yung kanyang inaasahan at naglaro ng pinakamaganda, no? And most of them, if not all of them, hindi naglalaro sa PBA. And we're talking about Clarkson, Ramos, Edu, Soto, Abando, and Kiefer. Bakit naging very effective itong mga to? And yung mga kagaya ni Scotty, ni Japet, ni CJ, ni Malonzo, parang nawala yung laro. What do you think is your analysis here, Coach Mark?
I like the lineup of Coach Chot, how we started the third quarter. Because he used Dwight Ramos as a power forward, and then marami siyang wings. So I think Renza Banda was there together with Clarkson. So maganda yung spacing. We only had one big man there in that lineup. It was AJ Edu, and then later on si Kai. Tapos nagsabay sila towards the end. It was faster. So defensively, mas mabilis silang mag-rotate on the shooters of South Sudan. And then offensively, when you have a lot of ball handlers, the spacing was definitely better. So we were able to make a run. Ang problema, because we didn't rotate anymore. You mentioned the PBA players didn't play much already in that second half. So we couldn't really sustain it. But the 6-7 players who played in that third quarter really did a good job. And I think that's because it was a faster lineup, number one. They were more used to the speed of the FIBA game. And then there was a bit more outside shooting in that lineup because Dwight played at the power forward position.
Homer, given that, no, nakikita natin yung kakulangan. And obviously, napaka disappointing. Inaasahan natin yung mga veterano natin, the PBA stars, no, would really help out, no. What changes do you want to see in terms of, I guess, you know, the program itself and how the PBA can actually contribute?
Well, Commissioner, the current, all I know, it's so hard because it's so complex having to change your program. Pero para sa akin, Commissioner, we have to adapt to the international game. Fast play, spacing, almost positionless basketball. And, you know, we need shooters. And also, not necessarily point guard, ball carriers, Commissioner. Yun ang sinasabi ni Coach Tab when he was with you last week. But it will take. But after the World Cup, I will announce there will be a big change in the SBP and if the change fall into place, I will make an announcement. I will make the story na may plano ang SBP. There will be a program in which some of our players will be brought to the United States for the 2-week training. NBA coaches will help them out. So things are looking for our program, Commission. We have to go through this pesky storm right now. Like it will be tomorrow. So this is not the eye of the storm. Tomorrow game will be go. Talaga bagyo, Commissioner.
All right. Well, medyo ano, we're waiting for that announcement at maraming umaasa na talagang magkakaroon ng real na pagbabago. Hindi lamang in the small picture but also in the big picture. Of course, we have a lot of our opinions there pero that's for another story. All right, let's go to our fast take issues of the morning. Mark, you're new here so ito, you're given a minute to answer. Walang tama, walang mali. Ang opinion mo ang mahalaga and of course, bato-pato sa langit, tamaan, wag magagalit, wala namang mapipikon sana sa ating mga kasagutan. Alright, ang ating unang issue, of course, all of our questions today ay patungkol sa FIBA World Cup. A lot of the blame has been placed on Coach Chot Reyes. Maraming humihingi ng kanyang ulo, ng kanyang resignation dahil sa nangyari sa ating koponan sa FIBA Basketball World Cup. So ang ating unang issue, makatarungan ba nasisihin si Coach Chot Reyes sa pagkatalo ng Gilas Pilipinas? I'll begin with you, Coach Mark. 1 minute, go!
Well, in any basketball tournament, the responsibility, the accountability of the performance will really be on the head coach. And in this case, yes, because we have not won, we were 0-4, then there should be blame on Chot Reyes for sure. Now, is he the only one to blame? I don't think so because there are so many factors that lead to winning and losing. And in this case, marami. Preparation might have been not ideal because we had Jordan Clarkson and Kai Soto coming in late. So kung ikaw naman yung head coach, ano bang gagawin mo talaga to formulate a very fluid offense when you only had main guys not training with the team? So there are a lot of factors to look at. But in the end, of course, the accountability will always be on the head coach.
All right, well, good take mula kay Coach Mark. Homer, same question. Makatarungan ba nasisihin si Coach Chot Reyes, lalong-lalo ng ating mga netizens sa pagkatalo ng Gilas? 1 minute, Homer, go.
Yes, 100%. The blame goes on Coach Chot Reyes. The chain of accountability is very complex. Sabi nga ni Coach Mark, maraming variables. But at the end of the day, that chain tugs at the head. So it's Chot Reyes. He called the plays, He chose the players. He was the architect of this demise, Commissioner. So, again, you can say preparation, this and that. I give you an example. Kung Kai was hesitating, 1 month before, then he could have just said, okay, you're hesitating. We need to practice now. I'm going to go with somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for you. I think with Jordan Clarkson, he could have done the same as well. I go with Brownlee. If you're not sure when are you coming, so many things, and then it falls down on Coach Reyes' lap because the SBP had given him the carte blanche authority to choose the personnel that he wants to go in the World Cup. So 100% Coach Reyes, fair or unfair, but it goes on to him.
Well, said correct, properly, and of course, direct to the point. I totally agree. At the end of the day, it's leadership. Ika nga, ang pinakamahirap pag humingi ka ng napakahabang lubid as a lifeline, yung mahabang lubid na yan ay pwede rin gamitin para ibitay ka. And ang akin lang gusto sabihin kay Coach Chot, we know where your heart is. We know you wanted to win. There's no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, sometimes hindi lahat ng plano natin nasusunod. And here's the hardest part. Wag mo nang intayin na ikaw ay paalisin. Ang akin, kaibigan ko si Chot, ikaw na magdesisyon because there is valor not only in service of the country but in also refusing to serve because maybe it's no longer your time. All right, let's go to our second issue of the morning. Nako, alam naman natin na talagang lahat ng umaasa na Pilipino ay umaasa kay Jordan Clarkson. Pero it was a very frustrating World Cup para kay Jordan Clarkson. So ito ang tanong sa ating second issue of the morning. Ito na kaya ang huling FIBA World Cup ni Jordan Clarkson para sa Pilipinas? Maybe out of frustration or maybe just simply out of, may mga papalit na. Homer, I'll begin with you. 1 minute. Go.
First of all, it's hard. Jordan Clarkson will be 35 4 years from now when the next World Cup comes to place. So it's hard to predict where his appetite to play for the national team would be at that time. It's hard to predict how his NBA contract would fall with the Utah Jazz if he still plays there. But the problem with Jordan here was that it's me, Commissioner, it was not his fault. I think he should come back with the right coach, with the right strategy, with the right manpower. I just believe that, part of the many mistakes that Coach Chot Reyes did was he misused Kai Soto, he underutilized Jimmy Malonzo, and then he had no clue how to free Jordan Clarkson. Was it hard to reach out to the Utah Jazz and say, what sets do you run for him? Why do he make so many open shots with the Utah Jazz? Why can he not make open shots with us? So maybe if those things addressed, Jordan Clarkson would have had a more efficient performance in the World Cup. And also, Commissioner, to answer your question, I think, it was never about the money for Jordan Clarkson. He makes $22 million in the Utah Jazz next season. He took less than $1 million, more or less $1 million for this World Cup. And he said he'd always want to play when the opportunity is there. 35 years, I think this was not his last.
All right. Well, I like the point about reaching out to the Utah Jazz. That's a very interesting opinion. All right, Mark, yan ang same question. Sa tingin mo ba, ito na ang huling FIBA World Cup ni JC para sa Gilas, Pilipinas? 1 minute, Coach.
Noli, I'll answer it a different way. For me, is it correct that we get a guard as a naturalized player? To me, parang hindi fit because we have a surplus of guards in the Philippines. I thought what we did with Blatch in his prime in 2014 was the perfect fit for Gilas. We need a scoring big man who is also versatile to be able to play the naturalized spot because yun ang kulang talaga natin. If we had somebody like Blatch in his prime, slotting in with Kai and with Edu, I thought that would be a terrific combination. Pareho pa silang, even on the defensive end, makakahabol sila pareho. So, maybe this could be his last unless he becomes and plays as a local. But to me, in the next World Cup, I would be looking at getting a 6'9", 6'10" player who can score and he can defend in the perimeter as our naturalized player.
Excellent point. Excellent point. And I do not doubt JC. In fact, I'm grateful to Jordan Clarkson, as I guess many of the Filipinos Pero parang ang mali ang pagkakagamit sa kanya. Mahirap, siya nagdadala ng bola at siya rin ang natitira at siya rin ang gagawa ng paraan para makaalpas, no? And you're right, sometimes we need, but also remember the fact that JC played well with the core, this young core with AJ, Edu, with Kai, with Dwight Rom. So there is that fit. But ako, feeling ko lang, unless he is a local, and I think that should be part of the changes that have to be made by the SBP, dapat humanap nga tayo ng mas malaki para maglaro sa susunod na laban. Yes, may pahabol ka ba, Homer?
Oh no, I was going to say to follow Coach's Mark's point. Yes, because 4 years from now, Dwight Ramos could emerge as a superstar. He could be that scoring option to guide our perimeter, and then we need that big. That's a very excellent point, Coach Mark.
Oh, ang ganda. All right, let's go to our third and final issue of the morning. At ito naman ay dahil sa nakita na natin mga laro sa Pilipinas, sa Jakarta at sa Okinawa, we are down to the quarterfinal round. Homer and Mark, sino sa tingin nyo ang magiging Final Four sa FIBA World Cup? I'll begin with you, Coach Mark. 1 minute, go!
Well, the US for sure. They've been the most impressive so far. Together with Lithuania, I was very impressed with Lithuania yesterday, been beating Greece. So I'm looking forward to USA-Lithuania playing tomorrow. But I think those two have been the most impressive so far. Canada lost yesterday, but I think they will make it. So that's US, Lithuania, Canada. And I would go with Slovenia as the fourth team. Slovenia to me is the dark horse with the way Luka Doncic has been playing in this tournament. He's going to be a tough out because he's been the best player so far in this FIBA World Cup. So those four teams I'd expect to see. Although maybe one of Serbia and Italy can sneak in, but I would go with those four teams: Canada, US, Lithuania, and Slovenia.
All right. Well, mga malalaking teams yan. And of course, a lot of NBA stars will descend upon dito sa ating basketball courts. Homer, same issue. Sino sa tingin mo ang magiging Final Four ng FIBA World Cup? 1 minute, Homer. Go.
I like Serbia because of the continuity they have. They got Bogdanovic, and coaching staff has been intact since the last World Cup. So the chemistry they're built in already. Although they do not have Nikola Jokic, but they have Nikola Jovic from the Miami Heat to go with Bogdanovic. I like Canada because, even they have Jamal Murray, they have 7 NBA players, Commissioner, led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They have Dylan Brooks. The defense is there. They've been blowing out the opposition. And then give me some Germany. Danke schön. Thank you very much, Schroeder. Ang galing din ng Germany. Morris Wagner. Super NBA players in Germany. They play terrific defense. Director is there cheering them, helping the federation. And then, of course, there's only one team in the World Cup that have 12 NBA players, and that is the United States of America. It's so hard to beat that team, Coach. They have the deepest coaching staff. Steve Kerr. Look at this. This is something that the Gilas should take a look. The Gilas did not have a coach from the college to be able to understand the vagaries or the nuances, not vagaries, the nuances of the college and international game. Itong sa US team, they have Mark Few of Gonzaga, been getting that school to the Final Four multiple times, and they have Jay Wright of Villanova, who won 2 national titles with Jalen Brunson as his point guard, and Michael Bridges is a power forward. So those coaches with the college and the melding of the brain power, Commissioner, USA, so hard to beat.
Well, alam naman natin yan. They were always the favorite. I like the choices, of course. I'm going with the USA, Slovenia. I think Canada should be there, and I think Germany. But I think the dark horse could still be Serbia. I really think that the experience will come into play, and of course, the Serbians are a superpower. But alam mo, on your point, Homer, Goldwyn Monteverde was part of this coaching staff nung simula. Nawala si Goldwyn Monteverde sa coaching lineup ng Gilas Pilipinas very quietly without any fanfare. Something happened, hindi na siya naisama, and I think you're right. They should have maybe included Goldwyn Coach Goldwin doon sa
Let me get a theory. May theory ako, but this is just a theory. This is pure conjecture. Monteverde is identified with UP, obviously. SBP is identified with the MVP group. Okay, hello.
All right,
That's the problem. Politics.
Politics will always come in and nako, yan ang mahirap. Dapat alisin talaga natin ang politika pagdating sa sports. Gentlemen, marami pa tayong pag-usapan. I really hope that we can have more time. Dapat yung podcast natin, Homer, matuloy na talaga. And Coach Mark, as always, I always listen to you. You are really doing very well. Congratulations on the coverage. And thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Com. Thank
Coach
you.
Coach Mark is a revelation. Rising.
Galing. Really good.
You found another gem.
Really good.
Galing, very
Really
good.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us sa Power and Play.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
Mga kaibigan, si Homer Saison and si Coach Mark Molina on Fast Take. Very, very good takes today para sa ating mga issues. Napakabigat, napakaraming masalimuot na topic, pero again, they were able to really put it concisely para makita natin, maintindihan natin. Alright, bago tayo mag-break, isa muna pong paalala mula sa ating mga kaibigan sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Giga Life app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Giga Life app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live Smart! When we return, ang ating pong mga kasama, naku, masaya to, ang mga miyembro ng 1974 Philippine team sa FIBA World Championships, El Presidente Mon Fernandez, Mr. Clutch Francis Arnaiz, and the speedster himself, Yoyong Martires sa Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin, 8:39 ng umaga. This time check is brought to you by M2 Tea Drinks. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2 Tea Drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry.
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Pinarangalan ng PMAP bilang Radio Station of the Year. Radyo 5, True FM.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Totoong abot na abot ang True FM saan man panig ng Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. Basta may Pilipino. Sundan at ilike ang Radyo 5 True FM sa Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at sa X o Twitter. Dito na tayo sa totoo. True FM. Tunay na kapatid. Maaasahan sa radyo at online.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Gusto mo bang manalo ng cash prizes araw-araw? Tumutok lang dito sa pinakabagong interactive game show ng Pinoy, ang Spin Go! Kaya maging pinduteros at pinduteras sa inyong mga tahanan. Tumutok at magtantos hanggang sa makompleto ang numero. Gamit ang inyong Spin Go app. May chance kang manalo ng up to 100,000 pesos. At consolation prizes na worth 1,000 pesos araw-araw. Spin Go! Sa September 11 na. Tutok lang sa TV5.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Mangangawit ang panganyo sa katatawa dahil ang kombinasyon ng gulat at sorpresa nandito na. Doble-doble ang saya. Doble-doble ang kwela. Abangan si Wally Bayola at Jose Manalo sa
Good jokes never go old. Kaya naman tuloy ang good times sa
Wow, Mali! Doble tama. Malapit na dito sa TV5.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Broadcasting from the Radyo 5 studios in Reliance Street, Mandaluyong City, in Mega Manila. 25,000 watts of true broadcast quality. Mas pinalakas, mas pinalawak, mas pinalinaw na tunog ng AM sa FM. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Power and Play with Noli Eala.
Isang pagbati lamang mula sa atin dito sa mga nagbe-birthday celebrants. Bago natin ipasok, gusto ko pong batiin ng isang happy birthday yung aking anak, si Lexi Eala. Si Lexi po, hindi po si Alex Magpinsan po yan. Si Lexi is my daughter. She is in Chicago. It's her birthday. She's in Northwestern University's Kellogg Business School. Happy birthday, Lex. I hope you're enjoying your birthday. And of course, isa rin pong pagbati kay Congressman Eski Estrella. Happy birthday ng Abono Party List. Happy birthday kay Congressman Amben Amante ng aming pong distrito sa San Pablo. And of course, kay Congressman Edwin Olivares ng Parañaque. Happy birthday ang ating mga kaibigang mga congressmen na patuloy pong nanonood din at sumusuporta sa pagdating sa mga sports. Alright, at this point mga kapatid, alam niyo po, in 1974, tayo po yung nagpadala ng kuponan sa FIBA World Championship. Noong panahon na yun, ang tawag pa ay World Championship, hindi World Cup. At ito po ang huling kuponan sa international competitions na nanalo hindi lamang ng isang beses kung hindi 2 beses sa World Championships. They were the last team to do that. Of course, nag-intay tayo ng pagkatagal-tagal, 39 years bago muli tayong panalo dyan po sa World Cup noong 2013 or 2014. No? Ano pala yun? 40 years bago tayo nanalo muli. At of course, ngayon, nag-iintay pa rin tayo ng panalo dito sa 2024. or 2023 edition. Well, mga kaibigan, makakasama po natin ngayon mga miyembro ng 1974 Philippine team. Walang iba kung hindi si Don Ramon Fernandez and Mr. Clutch Francis Arnaiz. Magandang umaga, Mon and Francis. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes, good morning, Noli and Francis. Good morning to all your followers, your televiewers. Good morning. Daghang maayong buntag from Cebu.
Hi, Mon. Kumusta?
Hi, Francis.
Hello, Commissioner. It's been a long time.
Been a long time. Grabe, ang tagal. Alam nyo, hindi, pare-pareho na tayo mapuputi. Si Mon na lang ang maitim ang buhok eh. Kaya, Mon. But Francis, you look great. It's great to see you. Unang-una, kamustahan mo na? What brings you back muna, Kiko, dito sa Maynila?
Well, I come every year, most of the time. Taon-taon nandito ako. Pero this time, napaaga lang ng konti dahil birthday ng mom ko this month.
Oh, wow.
And the FIBA game, the World Cup.
Wow, all right. Well, that's good. Oh, by the way, andito na rin po ang dating, of course, miyembro din ng 1974 team, Yoyong Martires. Yong, magandang umaga, boss.
Magandang umaga. Idol, good morning.
Good morning.
Going. Good morning.
Good morning.
Magandang magkasama-sama ka. Kamustahin ko muna si Mon. Mon, kamusta? Alam ko, you were forming a foundation after your days with the PSC. Kamusta ang trabaho outside of the government?
Okay lang. We're a private citizen now working on the foundation, planning some fundraising projects for this year and early next year, Noli, so we can start our advocacy programs and advocacies of the foundation. Yeah.
Excellent. Talagang inaabangan namin yan, lalo na sa sports community, na supportahan ang foundation ni Ramon Fernandez. Mon, can you just, kung pwede, landscape natin ng konti yung telepono mo, just in case, kung pwede mong magawa yan. Yung...
I'm using an iPad but I don't know how to do this.
Okay. Kasi ako rin, alam mo naman tayo, pare-pareho tayong mga senior. Yoyong, Vice Mayor, kamusta po? Kamusta ang buhay? Ano ba ang pinagkakabalahan mo ngayon, Yong?
Yung pagkakabalahan, talaga permanente yan. At tao kabalahan, problema na. Hanggat na tumanda ka na, may problema pa rin. Pero masaya lang tayo lahat. Sana masaya ka, pare Kiko. May nagtanong kita, Mon. Kumusta po kayo?
Yoyong, kumusta?
Bote, dito naman tayo sa Pasig.
Oo, siyempre.
Hindi ko nakita si Francis for 30 years ata.
Buti nakita kayo ngayon.
Alam ko pag dumarating ka rito, hinahanap mo ako eh. Alam mo talaga tayo yung magandang lalaki rito sa 1970.
Dali lang.
Teka, may kwento ako sa iyo, Yoyong.
Yes, sir.
Nanood ako ng game siguro 2 years ago dito sa Araneta.
Yes,
PBA game. So, alam mo, lumabas ako sa Jumbotron, di ba?
Yes, sir.
May narinig ko yung sa likod ko. Sabi, tiningnan yung Jumbotron. Sabi niya, sino yan? Ako ang tinitingnan. Sabi niya, sino yan? Sabi nung isa, si Yoyong Martinez.
Alam mo, yung Noli, hindi mo naalam mo, pag itong grupo na ito, itong pinakamaraming lugar na napuntahan.
Oo naman.
Imagine, 3 taon kami magkasamahan. No? More practice, every day, twice a day, morning and afternoon. Pero nag-uusap pa rin kami. By the same time, nag-uusap pa rin kami kung anong gagawin.
Gusto ko tanungin niya na, let me begin with that.
Yes.
Nung binuo yung 1974 team, gaano katagal yan nung nabuo? Siguro, Mon, do you recall? Gaano katagal kayo magkakasama? Kasi you were one of the youngest there, no?
Yeah. I was the youngest then, and even up to now, no? But anyway, the 1974 team was kept intact since 1973 after we won the ABC, the FIBA Asia then.
Yes.
No, so it was kept intact to prepare for the World Basketball Championship. So as we mentioned in the previous forums, we stayed in a house in Dasmariñas village, and we would practice twice a day, as yung mentioned, no? Dalawang beses isang araw. So practically almost 1 year kaming nagsama to prepare for Puerto Rico games.
More than, mahigit 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Kiko, you were all amateurs then. Wala pa namang professional league nung araw, nung panahon na yon. Was there some sort of commitment, buy-in na hinirequest sa inyo? Paano ba kayo pinili dyan?
Sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
No,
Commissioner. So,
you were amateurs then, and obviously you were part of teams in the commercial league. Some of you were in the collegiate. How was the selection made? And at the same time, was there a buy-in? Was there a commitment asked from all of you nung panahon na yon?
absolutely. How we were chosen? Well, kung tama yung pag-aalala ko, nag-tour tayo ng Philippines, right? Dalawang team, correct? And then they chose our team. Now, as anong criteria, hindi ko alam. Pero I guess siguro sabi nila, itong pinakamagandang team na ma-perform natin. No? So that's it. Yeah. And then commitment, we were all one. We're committed to the game, and then
If I may add to that, Noli.
Yes, go ahead, Mon.
There was a tryout. I don't remember how many of us started, but I remember there were two teams, RP Blue and RP White. No, we were trying out in Manila at first. Then we went around the country. We went to Iloilo, I think Bacolod, Davao, Cebu. That was the final leg of the tryouts. When we went back to Manila, Coach Tito Iduque and his coaching staff chose the 12 players from the two teams.
Oh.
That's correct.
And mabilis yung selection process na yun, Yoyong. Hindi ba ang feeling nyo doon ang dami pang dadaanan to? Yung ba buong loob na tinanggap ninyo yung prosesong yun yung at that time?
But at the same time, Noli, kailangan lang mag-trust ka sa sarili mo. Being honest ka, dahil dito, condition na kami naman 4 dito, kung nakakamali. Cleopas, Adornado, Paner, ako, Well, galing kami sa 1970. Yung championship in South Korea, that was 1970. Champion kami rito, Tapos, dyan kami sa mga senior na, si Francis, bago pa lang doon. Dito, umuusbong pa lang mga yan. Pero nakatayo doon sa likod na 5, medyo, seniority na sila. Kanya, okay, try out. Actually, marami kami. Hindi lang kami 50, 60 nagta-try out. Pumiikot kami sa tinitingnan yung statistic mo, yung laro mo, kung gaano ka kagaling o kung gaano. Hindi lamang dito ang galing ang pinagpipilian dito. Hindi ako even the character, the attitude, lahat yan, tinitingnan ka.
I wanna ask you this. Kayo ba binayaran kayo? Binayaran ba kayo nun? As part of the team? Kiko?
Wala naman kami bayad doon. In fact,
may 10 pesos a day tayong allowance noon.
Siguro, wala. Isipin mo, sahod namin nung araw is 150 pesos lang, San George, San Miguel. That was 1969. Okay. 150 lang, empleyado ako San Miguel.
But Noli.
Yeah, go ahead, Mon.
I have to correct what Yoyong said, Yung sinabi niya yung 5 sa likod na nakatayo, mga senior na daw yan sa kanya.
Hindi, kasama ka doon
Hindi totoo yun.
Nasa ka ba rito?
Si Yoyong was in the 1970 youth team. Ako sa 72 youth team.
Yun. Yan, yung picture na yan. Yan nakikita natin, Nakikita po natin si Big Boy Reynoso, si Sonny Jaworski, Abet Gidaben, Jimmy Mariano, and Dave Reguliano sa likod.
Bago lang din yun si Abet. Bago lang din dyan.
Bago rin si Abet lang dyan. And then of course, Joy Cleofas, Francis, Yoyong, Manny Paner, Bogs Adornado, and Tembong Melencio with Tito Iduque, and Juan Cotillas, Si Juan Cotillas yan,
Yes, correct.
Kiko, how was the training? How was the conditioning at that time? Paano kayo naghanda for the competitions with under Juan Cotillas?
Sure.
Well, we would training namin 2 beses sa isang araw. Sa umaga, conditioning, di ba? Si Juan.
Correct.
trainer ng soccer. So he really pushed us hard. And we just trained hard. Ang focus namin talaga basketball eh. And so and we gained a lot from one's training, physical conditioning. Yeah. Pero at that time, bata-bata pa kami, hindi namin alam yung salita pagod eh. Walang pagod.
And wala, I guess
lalo na si Yoyong.
And I guess lahat kayo, you were on the same foot. Walang superstar, walang pataasan ng bituin dito, Yoyong.
Yes, tama. Magtay lang kami. Minsan nag-uusap kami ni Abit, kami Jimmy Mariano, Sonny Tuwarski, lahat nag-uusap kami from time to time. Kahit na kumakain kami, kasama pa rin kami. So kumakain kami, kailangan mayroon kami dress code. Pag wala kang jacket, wala kang t-shirt, sorry.
So in other words, yung chemistry ng team na to, Mon, solid talaga. And it was built because of the years that you trained together.
Yes.
That's correct. We lived in Dasmariñas village as reporters because Dante Silverio was our team manager then. No? So he really took care of us very well.
All right. Let's talk about Tito Eduque. Nakita natin sa picture, he was the head coach. And I want to ask the three of you, unahin ko muna ikaw, Kiko, what stood out with Tito Eduque? What do you remember in 1974 na really gave the team confidence?
I don't know. Who wants to start?
You go ahead, Kiko. Go ahead, Francis.
Yeah, for me, well, at that time, bata pa ako, I didn't know much about the technical aspects ng laro. No? Basta kami laro lang. So, but Tito was a great coach. He could motivate us. And I just loved playing for him. And I need to mention, Tito took a chance to selecting me. Kasi I wasn't, I suppose there were other players that were more senior than me that should have been in the team. Pero he took a chance na sabi niya, bigyan ko si Francis chances sa national team. And I don't think I let him down, So, that's all I can say about him. He was a great coach.
Oo. Yoyong, anong naalala mo kay Coach Tito Eduque?
Si Coach Tito Eduque, bagal yan. Great coach yan. Basta pinasok ka, sasabihin lang yan, tauhin mo yan, buwa ka ng sarili mo. Confidence, try to confidence yourself. Kahit na siya, si Coach Tito, kumpiyansa sa amin, kami naman kumpiyansa sa kanila. Bawat player, nagkakaintindihan. Kumbaga, Noli, isang tinginan lang, alam mo nang gagawin. Hindi na dapat pag ganyan. Kahit nag-usap kami, pag dito ka ko, doon ka na. Hindi maaaring na hindi kami mag-uusap. Pag-uusap kami. Pag mali kami, aminin mo, mali ka, ganito.
Sistema mo. Sistema mo. Anong sistema ni Coach Tito?
Well, basic lang naman ang systems nung araw.
Outing movement lang.
Noli, no? During the time, Coach Tito Eduque was already a well-respected coach. Famous na siya, na magaling na coach talaga. The respect was there. No? What is really important is respetado ang coach ng mga players. So the players will follow him, will toe the line, whatever his plans is. So we were fortunate that he would always communicate with us, no? Talk to us and tell us what to do, what not to do, no? She was like a father to us during the time.
Well, I guess that's very important, yung respeto sa coach. And of course, yung kumpiyansa ninyo, na because sabi mo nga mo, he was he already had a reputation at the confidence of the players was there. Kayo ay nailagay, and let's talk about Puerto Rico, nailagay kayo sa group of death, wherein you actually played some of the toughest teams, USA, Spain, and Argentina. I want to ask you about this, no? What was the mindset? Anong mindset ninyo na ang kalaban ninyo is the top teams in the world? how did you prepare yourselves mentally, Kiko, na haharapin niyo yung mga ganyang klaseng kalaban?
Well, ganitong mindset namin eh. Actually, the mere fact na na-represent namin yung bansa sa Puerto Rico, happy na kami. You know, buo kami, and at least for myself, and I think I speak for the, wala kaming expectations na manalo ng Argentina o US. I mean, but we were happy. You know, meron akong retrato ng team na to, nakasmile lahat eh. Dahil, alam namin na just the mere fact na nandun kami para sa bansa, champion na kami, you know? So that was our attitude. So we thoroughly, you know, enjoy the game. You know, walang pressure masyado.
Yung anong pagkakaiba ng nung mga laro nung araw sa nakikita mo mga laro ngayon? At kaya naman kahit papaano pumalag kayo, lumabang kayo, because you know, when I look at the scores, I was checking the scores nung mga laban ninyo. You only lost I mean, of course, ang US was a big one, but lumabang kayo dun sa mga top teams. Bogs Adornado was in the top 10 ng scoring sa FIBA World Championship nung panahon na yon. Ano ang pagkakaiba ninyo noon kaya kayo nagkaroon ng magandang performance?
Iba noon at saka ngayon, tinatanong mo?
Yes.
Kami, no? Noon, haba ng practice namin, haba ng actual game namin, sa ngayon nung araw, wala naman, I not remember, no? Kung may 3 points na nung araw.
Wala pa.
That 1973, 74, 73, World Basketball, if I'm not mistaken, no? 1973. Kaunti lang masyadong movement. Hindi tulad dito ngayon. Maraming galaw na. Screen dito, screen doon, no? Ako dito muna ako sa amin, ha? Sa amin ito dati, 1973, o 1972, 1975, kakaunti lang ang movement. Kaunti lang ang movement namin, pero ang kondisyon namin, mas higher sa ginagalaw namin doon sa actual game. Ibig sabihin, kung ang kalaban namin malaki, US, isang hakbang sila, kami dalawang hakbang o isang kalahati. Kailangan double time kami. Basta tama sabi ni Francis, enjoy the game. Andun na kami, we're not intended to win. Basta lalaban kami. Dahil tagline namin, ang tatlong kulay, red, blue, and white, we are from Philippines. Pilipinas ang dala natin. Pagkakamali ng isa, mali namin lahat. Walang sisihan. Aminin natin, mali lahat. So ngayon naman, I'm talking ngayon ha, tinatanong mo ngayon. Ngayon, sa tingin ko, sa FIBA, ito sa FIBA, kulang ang practice. Gusto ko sa akin na nga, Noli, sa akin at dapat habaan ang practice, and also siguro na lumuwag din ang PBA. Dahil aywan ko lang ha, kung ang materialis kung tama o hindi. Dahil, for example, isama mo si John Mar Pajardo at saka si Kai Soto, mabibilisan, palagay ko mabagal na. Pag pinasok mo naman si Clarkson, one-on-one. Pag naipit ito, yan nakikita ko lang sa FIBA ngayon. Kailangan natin may magandang materialis at kailangan natin dito ngayon may mga shooter tayo.
Well, I will go to your assessment of the World Cup mamaya. But before I take a break, Mon, you won 2 games in 1974. Tinalo niyo ang Australia 101-100 at tinalo niyo yung Central African Republic para sa inyong ikalawang panalo. Kayo lang ang kupunan that won 2 games in a World Championship. What was the most memorable part of it, Mon? Ano yung pakiramdam nung panahon na yon, and what stood out for you nung mga panalong yon?
Well, as mentioned earlier by Francis, we were not really expecting to win a lot of games, no. We were just hoping that we could really perform for the country at the highest level of competition in Puerto Rico, and I think we were successful in that. No, we trained so hard for as we mentioned for 1 whole year, or a little more than a year. The team was prepared. We prepared for that tournament. We were kept intact. So yung samahan namin nandoon na, no? Isang tinginan lang, alam na namin yung mga galaw namin. So really, it was the preparation that made us win those 2 games, Noli. The long preparation, the long training period.
Oo. And how much, to the three of you, how much of yung experience nyo in 1974 helped you sa inyong career? Paano nakatulong ito sa inyong mga careers as professional players? Yoyong, ikaw muna, paano nakatulong sa iyo yung experience mo sa World Cup?
Sa dami namin games na labas, Hawaii, kung saan-saan, Los Angeles, lahat yan, nagkaroon kami ng experience, no, sa mga laro. That time naman, tiwala kami sa sarili namin dahil kondisyon kami.
Oo.
Yun importante, kailangan kondisyon. Kahit na anong gawin ng kalaban, sige, andun kami. By hook or by crook, either kung may nangyari, jumble man o kung ano man, yan ang aming inspirasyon dahil sa samahan namin maganda, the coaching staff, lahat yan, maganda ang aming samahan. Kanya, naibibigay namin ang lahat kung ano man uri ng kalaban namin. Hindi namin naintindi kung sino kalaban namin. So we had to play hard basketball.
Kiko, how did it help you in your career playing in the national team?
Ako, you talking to me?
Yes, Francis.
Well, the mere fact na nanalo tayo ng 73 ABC, tapos like sabi ni Yoyo nga, dami namin tahan lugar. It's just simply you get confident. I mean, na kaya mo, you're there because you play well. You know, so yan lang masasabi ko. You know, I need to mention na you know, a lot of this what we had before was, I don't think there was no unrealistic expectations of us. Alam ni, we just played our best. And you know, when we came home from all these trips, masaya ang bayan eh.
Yeah.
You know, kahit talo kami lahat ng games sa preliminary round, talo kami lahat, pero masaya pa rin eh.
Oh.
Kasi basta laro lang, just give your best, laro lang kayo, and we were fine.
Siguro yun lang naman,
So,
yun lang naman ang hinihiling talaga ng tao, na lumaban lang at lumaban. That's all. Kung matalo talagang dapat ganun lang naman ang expectation. Pero again, well, tingnan natin kung bakit nagkaganito ang ngayon na talagang masyadong kumbaga maraming negative feedback coming from the performance of the World Cup. I will return to that question and your assessment ng current FIBA World Cup participation ng Pilipinas when we come back from this break. Diyan lang kayo, ha? Babalik pa po si Francis Arnaiz, Mon Fernandez, and Yoyong Martinez. Ito po ang Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng True Religion. Ang oras po natin, 9:10 ng umaga. This time check is brought to you by M2 Tea Drinks with Malunggay, Okra, and Luya, your natural source of electrolytes.
I dare to dream big, to be a voice of my generation, to inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours with Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry.
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Pinarangalan ng PMAP bilang Radio Station of the Year, Radyo 5, True FM.
Dito tayo sa totoo.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Team Ambida, ready na for round 2.
Narinig mo yun asawa ko? Enzo?
Aba, may bagong manggugulo.
Oh my God! Got it! Oh my Nosy!
Paano kaya harapin ng pamilyang palaban ng bagong hamon ng buhay? Kaya wag nang papahuli dahil Team A may round 2 na. Kasama ang mas masaya at mas malaking pamilya ng Team A. Round 2 tuwing Sabado 5:15 p.m. dito sa TV5.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taong pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Daig daw ng binubuenas ang sinuswerte, kaya ibalik ang swerte na punong-puno ng positivity with good vibes. Kasama si Stanley Chi at Laila Chicadora dito sa 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo. 25,000 watts ng totoong tunog ng FM radio. Totoong pinalakas, totoong pinagtibay ng mga batikang mamamahaya sa paghahatid ng news, public service, entertainment, music, information at inspiration para sa bawat kapatid, bawat Pilipino. Ito ang 92.3 Radyo 5 True FM. Dito tayo sa totoo.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
Bago po natin ituloy ang ating kwentuhan with our basketball legends, isilipin muna natin ang ating pop culture at viral videos sa mundo ng palakasan sa Stop and Pop.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
Ang title ng ating video ngayon linggong pong ito ay It's Not a Travel, It's a Journey. Panoorin niyo po to. Bakit kamo? Nakikita niyo naman to ha, may play na ginagawa itong mga weekend warriors. Eurostep pero only pala yung Eurostep. At sumama hindi lang yung mga kakampi, kung hindi yung mga kalaban hanggang palabas. Naku po, saan bang punta nitong mga to? It's not a travel. Traveling yan eh. Aba, it's a journey kahil paalis na sila. At yan din po ang ating Stop and Pop. Talaga naman. Hindi mo ginagawa yan, ano? Hindi mo ginagawa yan, Yoyong. Yung ganong klaseng maggalaw. Balik po natin ang ating mga kaibigan Mon Fernandez, Francis Arnaiz, and Yoyong Martires. Patuloy po tayo pinag-usapan natin ang Basketball World Cup. I wanna ask you, Mon, kasi I wanna ask this. Mon, are you surprised na hindi pa tayo nananalo sa World Cup at this point?
Honestly, no, I'm not. No, we must admit, Noli, and realize that basketball has become so popular as compared to those days. No, basketball has improved a lot technically in all aspects of the game. It has improved a lot. Napag-iwanan lang talaga tayo dahil, for one, doon ngayon lang tayo nagkaroon ng matatangkad na players talaga na may 7-footers na tayo, 6'10", 6'8", no? But natural yan sa ibang countries noon, no? So, although I was really hoping, I am hoping na manalo man lang tayo isa or dalawang game nga before the tournament started, no? That was my
Yeah,
wish,
yeah,
no?
yeah,
But
yeah.
then again, iba naman ang tadhana, no?
Well, obviously we were in the game, and Francis, I want to ask you this, no?
That's right.
We were in the game, even with Dominican Republic. Halos lumalaban tayo up to the very end, and these were winnable games. What do you think fell short? Anong assessment mo, Kiko?
Well, ito lang ang sa akin, no? From what I saw, Mon is right. Alam mo yung kaibahan ng team natin sa isang team, it simply boils down to size. You know, I watched the Italy-Philippine game live. Nandun ako. And pag nakikita ko sa warm-up, parang college team, high school team against a college team. I'm talking of size, no?
Oo.
I mean, ang 6'10 nila or 6'9 nila, natural. Yung malakas, malaking katawan. We're not built like that, no? So, ang nakita ko lang sa team natin is, tama ka, Commissioner. Every time they played their hardest. I could see that. Tingnan mo yung score. I don't think natalo tayo than more than 10 points the first 3 games, di ba?
Right.
Against Italy, against Dominican, and against the African team.
Yeah.
We were in the game. And for me, that showed me, and for me, that was enough. Okay na yan. Kahit hindi tayo manalo ng isa. Kasi sa akin lang, sa katotohanan lang, I don't think we will, at least not in the next 100 years, will ever beat a team from Europe, America. Kasi iba. It's, ang laki lang, ang size lang ng player.
Oh, sheer size. Alright. Yung, may mga nagsasabi, and tiningnan ko yung mga numero, tayo ang isa sa pinakamaraming turnover. At tayo ang pinakahuli sa hanay ng mga teams, 32 teams yan, dead last tayo pagdating sa assists. At marami nagsasabi na kulang daw sa point guard itong koponan ito. Well, sinabi ni Coach Tab Baldwin, wala na daw yung ganyan, positionless na. Kahit na sino pwede magdala ng bola. Do you think na sa dinami-dami ng Pilipino, at alam naman natin, tayo ang bansang napakagagaling magdala ng bola dahil ang puro tayo gwardiya. Do you think na kulang at sana nagkaroon tayo ng legitimate court general dyan sa loob para medyo maging timon ng ating koponan?
Thank you. Ako yun, no.
Oh, yes.
Sa akin, tama yun. Marami ng movement ngayon. Sa amin nung araw, nakita mo, ang gwardiya dito, ang guard, Jaworski, Arnaez, Martires, Cleopas, Melencio. Makikita mo, talagang gwardiya lang sila. Guard lang kami. Forward, Adornato, Paner, Jimmy Mariano, shooter lang sila, Adornato, Arnaez. Tama sabi ni Francis, no? Para sa akin, no? Marami tayong error. Why? Kasi ang iba dyan, they are for 1 week, 2 weeks, nagsama-sama lang. For 3 weeks. I don't think so kung tama yung araw o linggo na pagsasama-sama ninyo. Kumbaga, minsan, pagpasa mo, hindi magkakaintindihan. Di ba? Hindi Ngalawa, sa akin lang ito siguro mag-adapt na rin tayo sa European. Tama sabi ni Francis, no? Mag-adapt na rin tayo sa rules ng game ng European. Kasi rules tayo ng NBA. Nakita mo, 24 shots block dito. Ilan ba sa atin sa PBA? Ilan ba sa NBA? Kaya mag-adapt na rin tayo ng games ng European. Adapt na rin tayo kasi tayo, NBA tayo Kaya kung natatandaan nyo, na-quote ko lang ito kay Joe Kick, let's say MVP. Mas madali sumot sa NBA kaysa sa liga nila, sa European. Mas madali daw sumot sa NBA. Why? Bakit? Yun nga, may zona. Ang NBA, tao-tao, may violation pa, may technical pa, 40 seconds and defensive alignment. Depo, dito ito ngayon dito, wala dito yan. Dahil pwede mag-zona. Sabi ni Joke, ang hirap sumot. Sentro ako, pero si Joke, pag naglaro sa NBA, ang yano-yano lang. Yan ang nakikita ko na dapat maluwagan tayo, mag-adapt na rin tayo sa play of games ng European, pag-adapt tayo ng NBA. As luwagan natin ang player ng matagal na samahan.
Alright.
Magagaling lahat yan. Even the coaching staff, just 2-3 years, si Idol, team ko, ang gagaling lahat yan. Wala kang itulong ka base, mga player, ang gagaling lahat yan.
Okay. Alright.
Pero, paano yan? Tama kaya itong kombinasyon natin dito sa loob. That's I saying kanina, hindi mo pagsama si Jun Marpahardo, si Kai Soto, babagal ang laro.
Yan ang gusto kong tanungin kay Mon. Mon, nakita natin ang development ni Kai and nakita natin ang all of a sudden ang pag-angat ni AJ Edu. Isang batang-batang sentro nagbumantay kay Carl Anthony Towns at pinuri pa nga ni Kat sa kanyang depensa. How, seeing this, no, na nagkakaroon na tayo ng core, of course, si Junmar nagkakaedad na and obviously itong mga bata na ang papalit sa kanya. How do you want our bigs to develop, particularly AJ and Kai, for the future basketball competitions natin, Mon?
Yes, well, AJ is doing the right thing. Doon siya sa labas naglalaro. In answer also to your question kanina regarding what we learned through our experience, Noli, it's only really through competitions. At the highest level of competition, athletes would improve, no? So I hope he continues in that, no? I was hoping he would have been given a lot more playing time because we all believe, we all hope that he is going to be the future of Philippine basketball. So why not give him all the playing time in the world so he will hasten his improvement, no? I also agree, Noli, na halos dapat positionless na ang basketball ngayon eh. If we saw the games, if I remember correctly the statistics that I read, a little over 25% lang ang success natin sa 3-point area, no?
Yes, actually 29.7%, Mon. Yan ang talaga.
29%. So you live and die with trays nowadays, no?
Yes.
So common sense, we have a saying, practice makes perfect, no? If only you can prepare the team for months, why not let everybody shoot trays, say at least 500 attempts a week, no? And see if there's an improvement or not, no? So, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be because I'm pretty sure Yoyong and Francis and even myself, all the shots that we make, the style, we did that through practice, no? As you say, practice makes perfect, no? So really, pagdating naman sa turnovers, really, that's one of the factors that really did us in, no? Napakataas ang turnover natin. Even our field goal percentage was way below 50%, no? 42%, somewhere there.
Yeah,
no?
Yes. Ang field goal percentage natin is about 42%, yes.
So really, if you base the 74 team and the team now, or even the past years, it's really the preparation, Noli, that's a big factor.
Kanina binanggit din yung high level of competition. Francis, I want to ask you this, no? Our players are only exposed sa PBA. And obviously, the PBA is the one that hones our national team. Diyan tayo kumukuha ng players. Pero may mga players ngayon na naglalaro na overseas. And when you look at this World Cup, yung mga naglalaro overseas performed much better than those that are playing in the PBA. Do you think it's time for the PBA to revisit its policy of opening its gates to more foreign teams so that we can expose our players to a higher level competition na binabanggit ni Mon Fernandez?
Absolutely. I totally agree. Especially yung sinabi ni Mon na in today's basketball, you live and die by the threes, right? I mean, that's it. Pag hindi ka maka 3-point shot, ano ka na? You're already handicapped, right? So, totally agree with Mon. And if that's what it takes to make us compete better, you better take 1,000 trees every day by yourself or with the team just to practice that, no?
Oo.
Pero I wanna bring this out, and that's my point. Na, alam mo, if I'm 6'3" or 6'4", and the one person guarding me is 6'9", 6'10", and just as kasing bilis ko, ang hirap mag 3-point shot eh. You know, it's really tough. And so ang tingin mo sa court iba eh kasi pare higante itong nasa harap ko.
Oh.
So we have to do something about that.
Right.
But to answer your question, Rolly, absolutely anything that will expose us to international style competition will definitely help our players. No? So tama.
Yeah, well, Yoyong, alam natin ang mga players natin ngayon nagpupunta na sa Japan, sa Taiwan, sa Korea, pero may mga polisiya pa rin ng PBA na parang linililimitahan ang mga pwedeng lumabas at pinapahirapan na makabalik sa PBA. Sa tingin mo ba, dapat lalo tayong magluwag para ang ating mga player lalong gumanda ang laro? Because kung titingnan natin yung mga statistics ng mga manlalaro natin, si Dwight Ramos, si AJ Edu, si Kai Soto at si Renz Abando, mas maganda pa ang mga statistics kaysa kay Scotty Thompson, kay Japet, kay CJ Perez at kay Malonzo. So, do you think mas dapat pa tayo magbigay ng insentibo sa ating mga player na sige, maglaro kayo overseas?
Sa tingin ko kasi nagsisikap din naman sila na baka naghigpit ang PBA o niluluwagan, which hindi ko alam. Kung tingin ko, dapat lumuwag ang PBA. Kung ano man yan, kung maglaro sa labas. Siguro, excuse to say din, no? Baka mali ang masabi ko, Commissioner, no? Baka naman sa malaki binibigay o maliit ang binibigay natin, hindi natin alam. So, I don't know that, kung ano man. Pero kung tungkol sa pag-basketball, okay, payagan mo. Pagbalik, payagan mo. Kung ano man ang gusto niya, bigay natin ang hilig sa isang tao.
Alright.
Kasi doon siya masaya. Ano sinasabi?
Noli?
Just enjoy the game.
Yes, Mon. Go ahead.
Yeah. We should not just look at the games in the PBA, Noli. You know, to tell you, when we beat Australia in 1974, alam mo ano ang ginawa nila, Noli?
Oo.
I got a program, a basketball program. It was given to me by our good friend Kirito Henson. They had a program for their grassroots. No? Sa elementary pa lang, inuumpisahan nila mag-training ang mga bata. Now, like, for example, ang grade 2, sa PE nila, ito ang fundamentals na gagawin. Grade 3, pahirap yung fundamentals and so on and so forth. No? So, after several years, kita mo, number 5 kagad sila in the world, maybe after 10 years. No? So, do we have a program like that? No? It's left to the schools, to the varsities, and to the towns, yung mga barangay leagues, no? Wala talagang, I do not see an honest to goodness grassroots program for basketball.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, actually, I just saw a video sa Japan, sa Japan League, yung mga player ngayon, a lot of players are using the bank shot para tumira ng free throw. Tinuturo sa kanila na ang free throw patamain sa banda. 80% ang kanilang shooting percentage ng free throw. I'm kagaya na sinasabi ko, it may not be glamorous, but it's at least they're trying to do something to improve ang kanilang paglalaro. And you can see now Japan, which will probably make the Paris Olympics dahil sa kanilang magandang ipinakita dito sa World Cup. So I'm running out of time. I just want to ask this final question about the World Cup, gentlemen. What changes do you want to see sa Philippine basketball para ma-improve natin ang ating kampanya sa mga susunod pang mga World Cup? Unahin kita, Yoyong. Anong mga pagbabago ang gusto mong makita?
Gusto ko, Noli, ngayon pa lang, Commissioner, ngayon pa lang kumuha na sila ng player, nasamahan kung sino man yan, stay para mag-practice sila ng mahaba. Habaan ang practice. We'll see what will be the outcome of the game.
Very good.
At habaan ng practice. Yun lang sa akin. Kumuha na agad ng player.
Long-term preparation. All right.
Yes, long-term preparation. Correct, Commissioner.
Francis, changes you want to see in Philippine basketball?
I don't know if I'm the right person to answer that. I don't live here. I'm not up to date about day-to-day stuff that's going on. Pero ito lang yung akin. As a general thing, I think we have to be more patient in developing players at a younger age and not expect instant gratification like, import natin to see this NBA now, and then, because that will never work on the long run. So, create a system of training, patience, start them at a younger age, and there's no way that we won't improve, no? So I have no comments on what other things that can be done.
All right. Well, alam mo, malaking bagay na yon, Francis, yung long-term program developing young players to be the foundation of a true basketball program is very, very important. Mon,
correct.
Mga pagbabagong gusto mo makita as we move forward from this World Cup?
Yes, I agree with Yoyong Noli. We cannot really prepare a team for that even 1 month. No, I don't know how they will fit that in sa basketball schedule ng PBA. No, but that's really I think the number one key. No, to be able to do that. As I mentioned earlier, we were successful because we won 2 games because we prepared for a year or over a year, no, and coupled with a program like one Francis echoed, that we start them young, really teach them from the very beginning, and give them competitions. No, there should be competitions all over the country. No, as we say, competitions. It's at the higher level the competition, the better. It's only through competition that athletes, for that matter, really improve a lot. No, so it's really preparation, Noli. But then again, that's the problem. That's going to be our problem. I must remind you that the PBA was born out of this because of this problem. In our team in 1973, there were 4 of us from Toyota. When we were preparing for the World Basketball Championship, the team was kept intact. We were practically not allowed to play for our mother team. So that's when the team owners started talking about putting up a professional league para hindi mahawakan ng BAP at the time, ang mga players na kukunin na lang basta-basta at hindi palalaruin. No? So, I don't know how they're going to solve that concern, Noli.
Well, that's the balance of schedule, and maybe that's really the ultimate sacrifice. How we can balance our schedule both sa professional and our service to country. But alam mo, your wisdom and your experience, malaking bagay yan. And I really hope, alam mo, ito lang aking sanang panawagan sa SBP. Na yung mga nanggaling na dyan sa mga programang yan, katulad ninyo, Mon, Yoyong, and Francis, dapat kahit papano kinukonsulta. Because kayo ang nakaramdam kung paano ang hirap ng paghahanda patungo sa World Cup. And I think your wealth of wisdom ay dapat kinonsulta para mabuo yung programang yan. Because ito lang 6 na taon tayong binigyan ng pagkakataong maghanda. We were given the hosting in 2017. Alam natin lalaro tayo sa World Cup pero hindi tayo nakapaghanda. Still, 1 month lamang ang ginugol, and at the end of the day, ito ang ating kapalaran. So again, I'm happy that you said all of that. Gentlemen, maraming salamat sa panahong binigay niyo sa amin ngayong umagang ito, and I hope to see you in the games, Mon, Yoyong, Francis, good luck. Huwag kayong mawawala sa basketball dahil kailangan kayo ng bayan. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Noli.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Maraming salamat.
Power and Play with Noli, Eala.
Mga kaibigan, thank you Francis. Thank you so much. Mga kaibigan, ang ating pong basketball legends, part of the greatest players ng PBA and of course, legends in the Philippine team. Ramon Fernandez, Francis Arnaiz, and Yoyong Martires. And again, yun ang aking panawagan. Kung ano man pagbabago sa SBP, mawalang galang na po. Wag niyo personalin. Wag niyo pong gawing personal to. Hindi po kami kalaban. Ang amin pong sinasabi, makinig po kayo. Hindi po pwedeng kayo-kayo lang. Nung binuo po natin ang SBP in 2007, ang ating pangako ay magiging inclusive. Hindi po kayo-kayo lang. In fact, ang leadership ng SBP dapat rotating. Yan po ang isinulat natin sa Constitution. Sana po ay makinig kayo dahil hindi po kayo lamang ang may alam ng bagay-bagay tungkol sa basketball. Marami po katulad ng ating mga nakausap na merong maiaambag sa pagbuo ng isang malakas, matatag at sustainable program ng basketball. Alright mga kapatid, before we give you our final guest in the spotlight, syempre, isa muna pong pasasalamat sa lahat ng mga tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Marami pong salamat of course sa Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon mga kapatid. Sobrang init tapos biglang uulan. Kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pang matagalan. At isa lang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum.
Thank you!
Cherry Tiggo 5X Pro Hybrid. Elevate your driving experience with the all-new Cherry Tiggo 5X Pro Hybrid, where sustainability meets functionality. Get ready to embark on a journey of fuel efficiency and power like never before. Imagine cruising down the road with the impressive 1.5 turbocharged engine paired with a cutting-edge 48-volt hybrid system. This dynamic duo not only delivers exhilarating performance but also slashes fuel consumption effectively, making each mile a step towards a greener planet. The all-new Cherry Tiggo 5X Pro Hybrid is also equipped with a 10.25-inch capacitive touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, full LED headlights and double-row daytime running lights for improved road visibility, auto trunk release, 6 supplemental restraint system airbags, and a quiet cabin for more peaceful Cherry drives. To learn more about the all-new Cherry Tiggo 5X Pro Hybrid, visit Cherry Auto Philippines website at www.cherryauto.ph or visit your nearest Cherry dealership.
Thank you!
Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Subukan ng kanilang pinakabagong oven-roasted chicken na mas pinasarap dahil sa nag-uumapaw na flavorful chicken juice. Subukan ng harissa roast, sweet roast, at pepper roast. Try also Chooks, the first dine-in restaurant ng Chooks to Go. Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan.
Thank you!
True religion is in the Philippines, where passion meets power. Experience it firsthand. For your best style choices, visit True Religion at Conrades Maison Mall of Asia Complex, Resorts World Manila, and Hacienda Designer Outlet Silang Cavite. Visit their newest branch at Grand Wing Newport City, Resorts World Manila. True Religion, where passion meets power.
Thank you!
Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Mga kasundo, first booking nyo, use promo code JRMC Taxi, 50% off on your first MC Taxi ride. Book Joyride MC Taxi for safe, affordable, quality, and fast rides. Ano pa ang hinihintay nyo? Download the JR Super App on Google Play Store and the App Store. Joyride!
Thank you!
Elms Seafood Paluto, the latest offering of the Elms Resto Bar Group, located at Unit 2, Ground Floor, Calle Bistro, Ever Commonwealth, Quezon City. Enjoy their delectable seafood menu in a relaxed, casual dining atmosphere for your salo-salo seafood meal. Elms Seafood Paluto.
Thank you!
Skin Your Face and Body Anti-Aging Center with branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hills, San Juan. For your skin assessment and treatment schedule, please call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886.
Thank you!
ASEA Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. ASEA Subic Beach Resort.
Thank you!
M2 tea drink with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2 tea drink with malunggay, okra, and luya, your natural source of electrolytes.
Thank you.
And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live more with Smart. Maraming salamat po. Alright mga kapatid, at this point, alam nyo po, may bagong hirang na head coach ng Philippine Women's National Football Team. Siya po ang papalit sa kay Coach Alan Stachitz, nagdala sa atin sa FIFA Women's World Cup. He is a 42-year-old former Australian head coach ng kanilang pro league and currently the coach of the year ng Australian League. He also was a champion coach with Calder United and guided the Western United to an A-League finals. Ilagay po natin ngayon sa In the Spotlight si Coach Mark Torcaso.
Power and Play with Noli Eala.
Mark Torcaso in the Spotlight sa Power and Play.
And of course, we'd like to welcome to the show Coach Mark Torcaso. Welcome to Power and Play and welcome to the Philippines, Coach.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. You said my name pretty well. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's I tried to research. You know what? Your predecessor, Coach Alan Stachitz, actually was also very had all praise for me saying his name correctly. Well, talking about Coach Alan, I want to go straight to that point. You are filling in his shoes, huge shoes after a historic run in the FIFA Women's World Cup. Let me ask you first, how did you get to this point where you were given the job? Did you actually search for this, or was this offered to you, Coach Mark?
It was a phone call actually that was offered to me, and it was something that I was pretty excited about when it was put on the table. So yeah, it was offered to me. I followed the girls over the last few years as well, so it was a great opportunity for me to take.
What made you get interested with the Filipinas, and have you followed Philippine football prior to this one?
Yeah, over the last couple of seasons I've watched, because we've actually got in the club that I coach in the Women's A-League in Australia, I coach two girls that play in the Filipinas team, so Angela Beard and Jackie. So it was a great opportunity for me to work with them in this environment as well. And I did follow the team for the last couple of seasons in their lead up to the World Cup.
As I mentioned, you are stepping into the shoes of Coach Alan Stachitz. Is that a daunting proposition, given the fact that Coach Alan did do a lot of things for Philippine football, particularly with our national team?
Yeah, I definitely there's no doubt with the success that he was able to bring to the team and obviously to the nation. They're huge shoes to fill, but I'm extremely excited to take this challenge on, and obviously leading into the next couple of seasons and hopefully into another World Cup. So definitely some big shoes to fill, but really looking forward to the challenge.
How much of the system of Coach Allen will you be keeping, and how much of it will be new and obviously something that you own or you want to put into the team?
Yeah, I mean, every coach will have their own style of play and the way they want to sort of do things, and I'll have my own, I guess, impact on this group. But it's also important to acknowledge what the work that the players have done in the past, and I guess just refining a few things and maybe just adding a little touch. But I'm big on bringing in, some good sort of culture within the group and togetherness and just creating that sort of bond amongst the players and the staff. So that's one thing that I'll definitely aim to bring in within the group.
Well, we read that you had started working with the Filipinas, and particularly with a big group of local players, and you also have some players who, of course, were in the World Cup. But there are notable names that are not yet there. Is this something that you're still waiting for? Are these players, you're still waiting for them, or is this a entirely new group that you want to work with?
No, well, the camp was only brought to this sort of last week when I was appointed the week before. So there was an expectation that we wouldn't have all the players available with such short notice, and out of respect of their clubs, it was important to acknowledge that too. But going into the Asian Games in a few weeks, we'll have every player available, which is great, and it's also just a great opportunity for myself and the staff to basically see what other talent there is locally.
And when you look at the roster, Coach Mark, who are you most looking forward to working with in the national team?
Honestly, all the players. Like, there's so many talented players here, and it's great to see some of the local-based players out in the last couple of days as well. So it's I couldn't single out anyone, but it's definitely really, really exciting to work with every group. If I had to say one, I'd probably say Angela Beard, because I've worked with her on 3 different levels now. I've worked with her at sort of state level and A-League level and now in the national team. So probably her, but definitely every single player.
Well, there are big names, of course, in our team. Serena Bolden, of course, our hero in the Women's World Cup, leads all of them. And obviously, I think it'll be a good mix now, especially after that experience that they had in New Zealand. But, a lot of Filipinos don't know much about you, Coach Mark. And I'd like to make our fans know a little more about you. We only know you're very young. You're 42 years old, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
First of all, are you married? Is your family with you?
Nah, they're not at the moment, but I'm married with 2 young kids as well. So yeah, that's why the grey hairs are here, I think, from the young kids.
Well, you see the white hair. See, but what was the reaction to your first overseas assignment, Coach Mark?
In all honesty, when I spoke to my wife and I told my wife, she said, "You've got to do this. You've worked so hard to do, coaching and worked in the field of women's football for so long." So it was a no-brainer, honestly, for me, and to have the support from my family almost immediately was very important for me. So I have to give my family a big shout out and thank them for that. So it was obviously an unbelievable opportunity for me to look at, and I'm grateful and glad for both the Philippines Football Federation and Western United for supporting me in making this happen.
How long? You mentioned about your work with women's football. How long have you been involved in women's football? I guess also what brought it up. Why particularly with women's football?
Yeah, I was lucky enough when I was very young to coach at a school, and I still currently hold a role there at St Monica's College in Epping in Melbourne, Victoria. And I worked with some young athletes back then, and the school and the program was quite strong in women's football, and I basically started coaching at that level, and then just started working my way up within the system, and started at the most basic and community level, and then progressed through to, I guess, to the elite level, and then obviously now into this environment. So the pathway's probably been very different to a lot of other coaches, where I haven't had the professional football, I guess, player as such, but worked through the programs and the processes of coaching females, and and been lucky enough to have some really good people through my time that have supported me in that.
Well, the Philippines will certainly benefit from all of that experience. Coach, your best memories in football so far. What has been the most memorable I guess achievements or moments that you've had with women's football, or even with just football?
Yeah, I think I was lucky enough to coach the inaugural Western United side in the A-League Women's in Australia, and in that first season, when I took the reins there, we were able to build a team from practically nothing to being runners-up and losing, unfortunately, in the grand final. But in our first season, it was a pretty outstanding achievement, and I was quite proud of that as my whole staff and playing group and club. So that was pretty special for me. But the most memorable moment, in all honesty, is watching my kids now. Love the game and love it because I do. So they're probably pretty memorable and special for me. Is seeing that those two scenarios probably stand out the absolute most.
Well, you've had a checkered career at a very young age. And of course, you are the current A-League Coach of the Year, I understand. And, I read an article where it said about 12 months ago, you never coached an A-League level team, let alone on the international stage. And now you're not only a Coach of the Year, you are a champion coach, and you're now a coach of a national team. Are you at all daunted by the twin assignments of being a head coach of a professional league, professional team, and at the same time of a developing team like the Philippines?
So not so daunting. I'm more excited because I think part of the success is about how you build a group around you, and it's not just the players, but it's also the staff that you have. And I've been lucky enough to be able to have the right support from every environment that I've been in, as this one now as well, is to bring in the right people around you to help support that. If you have the right personnel around you, I think most of the time you get most of it right. So having the people around me and supporting me is the main thing. And going into this, that was the first and foremost that I wanted to make sure that we had, is the right people supporting. And I was lucky enough to bring 2 people from Melbourne also to help with this journey.
I'm interested because you were contracted to coach the team for the Asian Games as well as the AFC Olympic qualifiers. Will that at all conflict in your schedule with your pro team, your local team?
No, because all the tournaments are actually within the window, the FIFA window. So there's no interruptions. There'll be a couple of training sessions that I'll be obviously unavailable to attend from our A-League side. But as I said, Western United has supported me on this journey, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm looking forward to balancing and juggling both roles and doing the best that I absolutely can. But I know that I'll give 100% to everything and every organisation that I'm part of. So I'm pretty certain that we'll get as much things done that we need done in this space.
All right. Well, let's talk about your plans for the Filipinas, Coach. Again, the Asian Games is just around the corner. What's the first order of business for Coach Mark?
It's identifying some players maybe that have missed out in the last few years within the space of the national team. So that's first and foremost, is just seeing what else is out there. I'm sure that the coaches in the past have done the best job that they can, but it's also, different eyes have different opinions. So there might be someone that I look at that could be, truly valuable to this side. So that's the first step. And then it's building toward these Asian Games and really using this as a stepping stone and a build up towards the Olympic qualifiers out in Perth at the end of October. So we'll be really using this Asian Games as an opportunity to, to build a team to then start looking towards that Olympic qualifiers in the end of October.
Have you met the Filipinas? Not only those that are in the camp, but I guess the mainstays. Have you met them at all? And if you have, how was the reception?
Yeah, we had a large group, a Zoom call last week, where I met every single player, and we had a conversation about how we're going to make things work going forward and what we're going to do. And I wanted to get the buy-in from them first about what our program was going to look like, and they were pretty good about that. And then literally the last week that I've actually been here in Manila, as well as catching up with the girls that have returned from the World Cup that are currently here, I think I've spent 3 or 4 hours a day in conversations on Zoom calls with the girls that are over in the States or overseas in Europe.
Right,
so there's been lots of face contacts and lots of Zoom calls, and I've met every single player, which is excellent.
That is excellent.
Yan po mga kaibigan ng bagong hirang na coach ng Filipinas, Coach Mark Torcaso. Again, he will handle the Filipinas para sa Asian Games at sa AFC Olympic qualifiers. Good luck sa ating bagong coach, at sana bigyan po natin ng suporta si Coach Mark. Alright, at this point, gusto ko lang pong i-announce lahat ng mga nanalo na sa ating mga promos dito sa Power and Play. Unahin ko po yung Joyride Super App Top Up promo. Ang mga nanalo po ngayong araw pong ito ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits, si Tristan Dale Acebucci. Mark Paul Sacopla, Nia Giles, Tony Mejia at si Jeruel Ruiz. Congratulations sa inyong lahat. Yun naman po nanalo ng ating limited edition Aqua Flask mula sa Joyride last week. Ito, pakita natin, Mike, ang nanalo po ng Joyride limited edition Aqua Flask na nagbigay ng kanyang posting. Andiyan na ba? Labas nga natin. Ayan. Ang nanalo po, congratulations kay Danica Camacho Hill. Panalo po ng isang Joyride Aqua Flask. Next week, i-anunsyo uli natin ang ating nanalo this week. And finally, dun sa mga M2T drinks, nag-iintay ng M2T drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya. Ang dami po nagpadala ng kanilang mga kuro-kuro. Si Joseph Fernandez, sabi niya, grassroots 10-year plan. Maybe 2023, we can become relevant again. Errol Gramares, sabi niya, it's not the coach, it's not the players. It's not support coming from SBP or MVP. Puso ang nawala. Sabi ni Zyric Leona, review and revamp the whole basketball program. Sabi ni Kevin Pontilla, sana magbago po ang coaching style sa ating basketball program. Naku, dami po Better selection of players ayon kay Mon Azet Baluyot. Sabi ni Art Castro, umpisahan na ang paglalagay ng 24-man pool. Well, ang ating po mga nanalo ngayong araw pong ito, marami pa po ito, pero ito ang ating mga napili. Una, si Julio Zar. Sabi niya, no politics. Consider adopting FIBA style of basketball. Pinoy hoopers are not as talented as Euro. So get a coach na magagamit ang galing ng bawat player to play as a team. Walang apurahang preparasyon. Congratulations. Next na ating pong napili si GCKS Sauza. Defense at yung movement ng bola dapat kunin na player, yung 3-point shooter. Yung masyadong malagkit ang depensa, halos lahat ng game na panood ko, iwan na iwan ang gilas, both defense and offense. Good luck na lang laban sa China. And finally, ang ating pong huling winner ay si Herrick Narciso Cuevas. From top to bottom, kailangan magbago. Politika sa taas, politika sa baba, higher compensation sa mga local players, higher skills coaches, lalo na 3 points, trained skill coaches locally. And marami pa po siyang sinabi. Imagine a Pinoy player who is as skilled as an NBA player that play on Euro-like system. Naku, ang dami po ninyong komentaryo. Marami po salamat sa mga nagpadala. Ito lang po ang akin bago tayo magtapos, mga kapatid. Masama po ang loob natin. Hindi ito inaasahan nating resulta at madali pong manisin ng tao. Pero ang ating pong pakiusap, maging mahinahon po tayo. Hindi po nagwawakas ang mundo dahil dito. At suportahan po natin ang ating koponan. Dahil hanggang ngayon po nakataya pa rin ang ating imahe as host ng FIBA World Cup. Panoorin po natin ang mga laro, suportahan po natin ang Gilas Pilipinas sa mga susunod na laban at ipagpatuloy po natin ang ating suporta sa basketball. Well, that'll do it for us this morning, mga kapatid. Maraming po salamat sa inyong lahat sa inyong patuloy na pagsubaybay. Lagi po nating sinasabi dito sa Power and Play, tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit. At sa lahat po ng ating gawain, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH, teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inay ko po. Happy Sports Weekend, mga kapatid! More power, more play!
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko. Para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at kung magpatalo, ipag-iwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulot, sumbesibay, lakay, paniga. Sama-samang pakita, ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino.